UFC legend emerges as potential opponent for Jake Paul as Mike Perry plays matchmaker. Jake Paul seems to prefer older mixed martial artists past their prime for his fights. This is why Platinum Mike Perry has the perfect opponent in mind for the problem child to fight next. Perry, of course, has become the biggest bare-knuckle boxing star in the world after leaving the UFC 3 years ago. And now, the American has stepped into the promoter's chair, having founded the Dirty Boxing Championship recently. The fledgling put on its first-ever event in Miami a couple of days ago, headlined by an exciting clash between former UFC superstar Yoel Romero and Power Slap star Dwayne Crespo. Romero showed that he was still a beast at 47, and knocked out Crespo spectacularly in the very first round. And Perry feels that since Romero is nearly 50 and way past his prime, he would be the perfect opponent for Jake Paul. It was incredible to see someone like Yoel. How is that guy 234 pounds? We were like the same size. He's just so solid. He's the age Jake would like to try. That's a possible matchup they should possibly make. Yoel Romero vs Jake Paul. My brother would put a whooping on Jake for me, Platinum told Ariel Helwani in an interview. For reference, Jake Paul fought Anderson Silva in 2022 when the UFC legend was 47. And after Romero's remarkable win, Perry isn't the only one singing paeans to the UFC legend. UFC superstar and GOAT contender Jon Jones was present ringside for the Dirty Boxing Championship event, and was very impressed with Romero's performance. The UFC champ was seen being awestruck, hands over his head after seeing Romero knock out Crespo. And the mixed martial artist, like Perry, couldn't stop praising Soldier of God's performance. Yoel is just such a magnificent, unique human being and athlete. He's special, man, and he does what special people do. He delivered exactly what we expected him to do, Bones told the Schmo in an interview after the event. While Jake Paul is not above fighting a 47-year-old Romero, it is worth noting that he has other, much more loftier plans for the near future. After all, following the controversial Mike Tyson fight, the problem child claimed that he was targeting a fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez, perhaps the biggest boxing star in the world, to decide who is the real face of boxing. But since there is little chance Canelo accepts Paul's callout, Romero may well have a good chance of being his next opponent. What do you think about Mike Perry floating a possible Romero-Paul boxing match?